Welcome, YMCA members and guests. I am Lakeisha Thomas. I am your instructor for today's virtual learning on today's lesson. Thank you for choosing the San Francisco YMCA for community learning. Today's lesson is on how to make and create a Citizens of the World passport. For this lesson, you will need the Citizens of the World template. You will need a stapler, and you will need scissors. When creating our passport, this is what it's going to look like. You will see that the passport has the cover 2 times. When cutting along the dotted lines, you will only need to cut out 1 copy for the passport. So let me show you how that's going to work. So as you can see, there's dotted lines on the piece of paper, so you cut. And make sure you cut on the dotted line as close as possible. And the reason why I say that is because once you line up your pages to your passport, you want them all to fold as evenly as possible. You'll see in the next lesson. And as I mentioned before, as you can see, there are 2 passport covers. You can use this extra one just in case someone else wants to make a Citizen of the World passport. I'm going to cut all of that off. So as you can see, you have 2 copies. You can put one to the side. So this is the copy of our passport. The next step are the actual pages. This is very important to note that once you cut out the actual pages, you are not going to cut through horizontally on the pages like we did when we cut out the passport cover. And there's a reason why, because you want all the pages to stay together, and I'll show you how that works. I should also like to mention that stay in order with the passport, because this is the Citizens of the World. This should definitely be the second page. It looks just like a passport. You have where you would fill out your passport number, and you can actually create like a fake number or a number or something for that. Your last name, your first name, and your nationality, and your date of birth. So I'm going to show you how this works. So once again, we're going to cut on the dotted line. Okay. So just like that first page, I cut along the dotted lines. However, you are not going to cut through vertically. What you're going to do is, you see the dotted line right here vertically, you're going to cut right here. And stop. You don't want to cut it all the way through. And then you have another vertical dotted line, and you're going to cut right here. And stop about right there. And the reason being is because you're going to, next you are going to fold it. So you fold it, and then you see these vertical dotted lines right here. You're going to fold it again. However, you want the Citizens of the World's picture to show first. So you fold it like this. And you want to try to get as close to the line as possible. The next step is to cut out the other pages accordingly, just like I've done the second page. The second pages will have your quotes from Citizens of the World. Once you have cut them on the dotted line, once you have cut but not all the way through horizontally, you are going to set out your pages like this. So as you can see, I have the beginning, I have the cover, the passport cover. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to fold it down And after you cut each page, you are going to open up the page before that, and you're going to put it inside. That's the beginnings of our Citizens of the World's passport. And then I'm going to open it up again, and I'm going to put another page. Just going to keep filling it up. So once you have all your pages together, and it might be just a tad bit off, but you want to get as even as possible, which is why I was explaining, do your best to cut on the dotted line as much as possible so that you can kind of get them all in evenly. So after you've done that, you're going to take a stapler, and I like to put a stapler at the top, the middle, and the bottom, just to make sure that it's really secure. So this is what you're going to do. It's pretty thick. And try to get it as close to the edge. I didn't really get it to the edge right there, but try to get it as close to the edge as possible. Let's see. Okay, so as you can see, you have your passport. Now, because it is a little bit thick at times, you might have a page that will fall out. You can remedy that situation by just putting a piece of tape down the line, and that will hold it in as well. So we do have our Citizens of the World passport. There's a few things that I'd like to share with you about this passport. When you open it up, you are going to have obviously your Citizens of the World identity page. And you are going to have some cool quotes from people around the world. Now, I should like to point out that sometimes when you open the page, it's going to appear as if it's upside down, just because of the way that we had to cut vertically and leave the pages in. You can turn it right side up. Not every page is going to be right side up. Some of them are going to be upside down. But there's some pretty cool quotes from people around the world. For example, we all live with the objective of being happy. Our lives are all different and yet the same. So this is from Anne Frank. So as you'll see, this is one of the quotes from the Citizen of the World, a very prolific person in our time. If you haven't had the chance to know who Anne Frank is, I highly suggest that you read about her. There's a lot of cool information on her. So this is our passport. You can take it a step further, and this is what I did by adding some color to it. Since we are citizens of the world, I thought that I'd add some blue and some green, because those are usually the planet's colors. I also did a cool creative thing. I kind of like drew a self-portrait of me, because you know your passport would have a picture of you. I created some numbers. I created my last name, my first name, my nationality, my date of birth, and where I was born. You don't have to put where you were born. You can think of a cool name for where you were born. Another creative thing that I did was, there were a lot of blank pages in here. So since I'm from the United States, I made an American flag. As you can see, more blank page, like more pages of a actual passport or a visa. And then I created an Indian flag, and the reason why I created this Indian flag, because there was a quote from Mahatma Gandhi: "In a gentle way, you can shake the world." So I thought it'd be cool to honor him by putting an Indian flag on the back. I created one from Germany because that's where Anne Frank was from. So, you know, we read her quote already. The idea is to get as creative as you want with the passport. You can also use stamps. Throughout the virtual lessons, we will be doing projects on things that are throughout the world. So every time you learn something, I think it'd be cool to add a stamp or maybe a flag, or maybe perhaps on the blank pages, you may want to add some other quotes from other citizens around the world. So this is how we make our Citizens of the World passport. Thank you for participating in virtual lessons with the YMCA of San Francisco. We have some other fun lessons as well, in which we'll hope you'll join us. Thank you very much, and have a good day.